Hello friends, I'm Dr. Avinash Kumar, founder EPYA Biotech. I welcome you all for today's talk. I'll be speaking on changing trends of job and career options in the 21st century. So we all know and we all recognize 21st century as the era of digitalization and the era of disruptive innovation. We know that these changes that we see today have been powered by as well as greatly benefited by the advent of internet in the previous century. The internet technology has literally changed the way we look at life today, including the way we communicate with each other, the way we learn new things, as well as the way we earn money. Internet technology has been ever evolving and has greatly supported the evolution of digitalization and technologies for digitalization, thus bringing in a whole range of digital transformation of businesses, organizations, and networks that touch each and every sphere of our life globally. Digital transformation has also impacted employment sector greatly by increasing the need as well as the demand for continual upskilling and reskilling of employable skills. Hence, I speak this talk on how these changing trends of brought in by digital transformation are impacting job and career options, especially concerning science graduates. However, before going into the details of changing trends, I would like to speak on the definitions of employability using data from World Map from year 2017. So this slide depicts three different outlooks of employability on a world employability map. The map on the extreme left indicates the percentage of unemployment in the world. As we can see, in India in 2017, less than 4% of the total population was unemployed, whereas at the same time in the states, around 4 to 6% of the total population was unemployed. The world map in the center depicts another different outlook of employability, wherein it depicts the percentage of own account workers and contributing family workers as the share of total employment, which is also called as the vulnerable employment. And even though India had less than 4% unemployment rates, around 70% of its labor force was working in vulnerable employment, whereas at the same time in the states, less than 15% of the total workforce was working in vulnerable employment. Finally, the world map at the extreme right indicates the quality of employment. In 2017, 50% of the workforce in India was working in poor wages or poor employment quality, with the average daily wage less than 3.1 US dollars a day, while at the same time in the United States, below 20% of the total population was working under poor quality employment. So we have also come to a point wherein we have witnessed the greatest pandemic of the last 100 years. Uh, we have seen this pandemic through COVID-19 disease or COVID-19 pandemic. We have seen how dreadfully this disease has infected different countries and how great economies succumbed to this disease and how this disease caused a mass unemployment across the world. And this graph depicts how COVID-19 affected employment rates in India. Before the start of the pandemic, India was at 8.5% unemployment rate, and it shoot up to almost 24% during the peak of pandemic. However, by release of lockdown and by repeated re-employment drives, India was able to pull back its employment rates to what was before the pandemic began. And this recovery is greatly attributed to re-employment drives, and they are greatly attributed to improved skill set of the employment sector. Hence, I make a small analysis for simplified study, wherein I mention the conventional choices that are available for science graduates for employment and the trending changes which involves new jobs as well as the older jobs which have been boosted by digitalization, and the conventional choices or the most favorite job choices for a science graduate are teaching jobs, which is teaching and research jobs. The second one is research jobs. The third is the government administrative science jobs, and the one is the industrial R&D jobs. So during the process of digitalization, each of these job sectors have themselves been impacted by digitalization. For example, teaching has moved from more and more from blackboard teaching to inclusion of higher amount of digital content in teaching through PowerPoint presentations. Research jobs also have been impacted and changed by digitalization in the way data is retrieved, analyzed, stored, or disseminated in the form of research publication. Government admin science jobs have also been positively impacted by digitalization. Finally, industrial jobs have greatly aligned themselves to ongoing digital change, and because of which a high number of jobs vacancies have been available in the industries for MSc and PhDs. So, apart from the impact of digitalization on the jobs, on the conventional jobs, what hasn't changed is the number of jobs haven't increased, though the number of competing labor force has tremendously increased. And when we come to the changing trend, these are the jobs which were greatly benefited or even originated because of digitalization process. And I've grouped them into four types of jobs again. The first one is entrepreneurial. The second one is data science or data related jobs. The third one is communicator, and the fourth one is digital education. In entrepreneuring, they can be you can the person can now be an innovator, a technopreneur, an analyst, or a product manager. So innovator and technopreneur are low reward and high content jobs, wherein the initial wages are very low, but the learning experience is so high, the skilling experience is so high that entrepreneurs become heavily skilled. And product managers is one attractive area in entrepreneuring where a person is involved in developing a complete roadmap of a product, both technically as well as in terms of business and implementation of business. And product manager is a high reward, high content job. The second type of job or the data related jobs involve data scientists as well as big data analysis, and these jobs specifically originated because of digitalization, and the digital data increased in volume, and now many jobs are available for data scientists to convert the information into conveyable, publishable information. Other types of jobs that are related to data are artificial intelligence professional, health informatics, and analyst. Communicator is a job which has been greatly benefited with digitalization again. Communicators, scientific communicator jobs were always there. However, the improved digitalization helped increase the capacity of scientific communication through digital content, and the jobs of choice that increased in this area are medical writer, scientific journalism, risk communicator, and science illustrators. Finally, the fourth type of job which greatly benefit from digitalization and which are made available in the recent times are self-teaching and self-publishing through online teaching or online publishing. And if a person knows a little bit of coding, he could become a developer of app technologies or teaching tools through Internet of Things. So this is the changing trend, the jobs of the changing trend, and how the digital transformation have impacted these. So I leave this discussion at a common point of understanding of today's world, which states that 65% of children entering primary schools today will ultimately work in new job types and functions that currently don't yet exist. And this is because of two major disruptions that the world saw between 2010 and 2020. And these disruptions are digitalization powered by internet, which also increased the amount of digital data and led to a new stream of data science. And the second one is big data analysis. So how do we prepare for welcoming the change brought in by digitalization? The only way to prepare for welcoming the change is to develop employable skills like, for example, leadership qualities, administrative capability, team management capability, and then to boost our soft skills complemented to hard skills for better job satisfaction and retention, to reskill and continuously upskill our skill set for improving lifetime employability. Why do we need to welcome the change? The main two reasons why we need to welcome the change is that the time to employment in conventional jobs have increased, and it is very high time to employment to conventional jobs. The second reason is that the opportunity to conventional jobs which is much lesser than the competing labor. So at the crux is to develop at least one skill set that can become a life hack during the lowest point of life. And when we talk about the skill set, there is a new definition called the 21st century skills, which are defined as skills, abilities, or learning dispositions that are identified by educators, business leaders, academicians, and government agencies to be required for succeeding in 21st century society and workplaces. So 21st century skills are a part of growing international movement which focuses on skills that are required for students to master in their preparation for success in for accommodating in the rapidly changing digital society. In one of the survey of AMA in 2012, critical thinking, communication, and collaboration were considered as the top three hireable 21st century skills. One more interesting part of the 21st century skill is that these all skills are related to deeper learning. Some examples of soft skills that are also 21st century skills. So basically, soft skills are the skills that are not learned easily but developed and improved over time. So there is a huge list of 21st century skill, with the main ones being communication, self-motivation, leadership, responsibility, teamwork, problem solving, decisiveness, ability to work under pressure and time management, flexibility, negotiation, and conflict resolution. And reskilling is a process to retrain to develop skill set in a new discipline, while upskilling is a process to enhance an existing skill set, allowing them to grow in their current role and to bring added value to current organization. Although reskilling and upskilling are required with the advancement of technology, as and when new technology comes in, reskilling or upskilling is required. However, it can be also used continually for the development of soft skills. So I have come to the end of the slide wherein I would like to speak about how e-learning in the EPYA Career Orientation Bootcamp will help you to welcome the digital change that is required in today's state. So the first thing is that the bootcamp will help you to supplement your hard skills that you learn during your professional degree with the soft skills that help you in employability. We have problem solving sessions that help you to develop critical thinking. The group discussions that are involved in the EduTech platform will help increase learnability, and career programs or career talks will also help to identify your soft skills and help you to plan your career map ahead. So thank you very much for staying with on this. And this presentation is actually an educative material as a prelude to EPYA Biotech Career Orientation Bootcamp 2021. So let's welcome the digital change together. And I thank you very much.